Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. This just popped in my head just recently. And yes, this is technically a what if about the Purge. So, bear with me, I guess. I already know that half of you wankers are probably gonna be going fucking spine roll over this. How's it going, everybody? This is Uncle Dylan here, God of Chaos, and today we are doing the one shot of, well, finally, of what if Deku, as the, give me a minute, I can never understand it in their language, oh yeah, fancy way of people saying, what if Deku was the Jersey Devil. Now, for those who do not know what the Jersey Devil is, it's more of a talk than it's more of a listen than a tell, because I'll be honest with you all, I don't know what the Jersey Devil is. So yeah. Give me a minute. Huh. Let's see. Give me a minute, people. Here we go. So here's what you need to know about him. Thanks to mythology and fiction. I did not care about food. Jeez, this game is trying to make me hungry.
October has managed to creep around the corner once again, so what better time to look at some more cryptids than the month of horror? Today we travel to Philadelphia to take a look at one of its most famous pieces of folklore, only second to the Trash Man, the Jersey Devil. As its name tells us, the Jersey Devil was said to inhabit southern Jersey in the Pine Barrens, a heavily forested area just off the coast. Most cryptids are fairly easy to describe because they resemble some kind of animal. The Jersey Devil does also kind of fall into this category, but it's far from easy to paint you a picture without actually showing you one. Over the years it's been described as a number of different things, but the most consistent is as a flying biped with hooves, which honestly means nothing when its appearance varies so much. Bat-like wings and hooves are the features that never really change. Its head is either said to be a goat or a horse with horns. It has small clawed arms and a forked tail. Many have likened the creature to a wyvern, and I guess it is a reasonable comparison. It does kind of remind me of a chimera, but with only one head. So, other than flying around and scaring people, what does the Jersey Devil actually do? Naturally, with it being the devil, it was seen as a bad omen. Everything from a bad harvest to droughts, missing livestock, and even cows who couldn't be milked were all blamed on the Jersey Devil. Then you have other sinister activities such as knocking down trees to squash people and boiling streams of water to burn them alive. Some believe that it appeared periodically, either every 7 or 13 years, a sign of war, disaster, and hardship that was yet to come. With the overall description out of the way, the next few questions we can attempt to answer are, what is it and where did it come from? For this we have to go back to the 18th century when it was first seen in 1735. In the Pine Barrens region lived a woman named Jane Leeds, also known as Mother Leeds. Despite being very poor, Jane had no less than 12 children, with a 13th on the way. When Jane found out she was pregnant once again, she cursed the child in her frustration, claiming that this child would be the devil. When the night came that Jane went into labour, there was a terrible storm that shook the entire house as her friends and family gathered to help her through the pregnancy. The child was born normal, but it began to change into a deformed monstrosity. Its feet turned into hooves, Its head resembled a goat. Leathery wings sprouted from its back, and a forked tail whipped violently around the room. The child screamed and thrashed its tail at anyone trying to hold it down. Eventually it broke free and flew up into the chimney, escaping into the pines. The local clergyman, believing it was a demon, tried an exorcism to remove it from the area, but they were unsuccessful. There are versions of this tale where the locals thought Mother Leeds was a witch or a sorceress of some kind, and the reason the child resembled a demon was because the father was the devil. This is also why at first the creature was known as the Leeds Devil, or the Devil of Leeds, a mixture of the family name and the town they lived in, known as Leeds Point. The credibility of this story, or even the possibility that it might be rooted in any real history, is questionable at best. There was a woman named Jane Leeds who was married to a Daniel Leeds, but there doesn't seem to be any connection between them and a devil child. Despite this, the newspapers of the 18th century still printed the story numerous times over the years. Was it an interesting story that would help them sell copies? Yeah, I'm sure it was. Was it a story that would lead people to visit the area? Again, I'm sure it did and still does. The point that I'm trying to make is, regardless of how true this story may have been, printing it had numerous benefits, so it's difficult to take that as undeniable evidence. Another explanation is that Mother Leeds was actually a woman named Deborah Leeds, who was married to a Japhet Leeds. They both lived in Leeds Point, and in 1736 Japhet named 12 children as part of his will, which does line up with the original legend. But was that a coincidence? Maybe the women in Leeds Point were just baby factories, or maybe Japhet was the father of the Jersey Devil. Either way, leaving your devil child out of the inheritance sounds like it can only end poorly. Another possible origin story is about a girl from Leeds Point who fell in love with a British soldier during the American Revolution. In 1778, the Battle of Chestnut Neck took place in southern New Jersey, so there would have been more than a slight bit of disdain between the two sides. The girl then meeting with this soldier in secret and eventually falling pregnant with his child meant that this was seen as treason, and so the town cursed the girl and her child. This resulted in her then giving birth to a child that would later become the Leeds or Jersey Devil. There are no credible photos of the Jersey Devil, so all we have to go by are the accounts of people who have claimed to have seen the creature, and there have been quite a few over the years. One of the most famous sightings comes from Joseph Bonaparte, the elder brother of Napoleon. Joseph swore that he saw a devilish creature fly by when hunting game on the grounds of his Bordentown estate in 1820. A few decades later, in 1840, the locals claimed to have seen the creature again, in the same place, this time killing livestock. A year later, in 1841, similar sightings were reported once again, this time claiming they heard screams and saw tracks in the snow. In 1925, sightings around livestock continued when a farmer claimed that he saw an animal that he could not identify trying to steal his chickens. He fetched his rifle and fired, hitting his target and killing the animal. He took photos of its corpse and showed it to over 100 people, but none of them could identify what it was. It does raise the question of how one would kill such a creature. Clearly the farmer believed his rifle did the job, but there are some stories that slightly contradict this. When Commodore Stephen Dessiter visited the Hanover Mill to inspect cannonballs that were being made for his ship, he was in for quite a surprise. He said that he saw an enormous creature flying above him in a menacing fashion. The Commodore then fired a cannonball at the creature, but to his surprise it did nothing, as the creature flew by unharmed. The amount of alleged encounters and sightings from regular townsfolk is quite interesting because of how wildly they can differ. There's a story that comes from a sheriff and some of his officers that makes it seem as if the Jersey Devil is more than just a mindless monster. The sheriff and his men were chasing the Jersey Devil away from a farm where the owner had reported missing cattle and blood-curdling screams. The devil then fled into the woods, leaving the men at the edge too scared to chase any further. The sheriff then yelled, "If it is true, and you are the devil, then rattle your chains." All of the men swore that they heard its chains rattle. This story ties into the previous versions that believe the father of the child may have been the devil. It's also a rare account of the creature attempting to interact in some way that doesn't involve a sinister act. The Leeds Devil is a story that started in the 18th century, and for the next few centuries stories about a creature that stalked the Pine Barrens spread to the surrounding areas. By the 19th century, it had become part of New Jersey's folklore and tradition, a ghost story that you would tell your friends and family on a dark and stormy night. It wasn't until the 20th century that people started to refer to it as the Jersey Devil. This is also when it was given its general appearance. What had previously been referred to as an animal, a demon, or a monster was now a weird mix between a goat and a kangaroo. 1909 was the year the Jersey Devil went from a piece of folklore known in New Jersey to a legend that almost everyone in North America had heard of. January 16th until January 23rd marked the most significant week in the Jersey Devil's history. Newspapers published hundreds of claimed encounters and sightings all over the state. Up until then, sightings had been quite sporadic and mostly occurred in the same area. These encounters ranged from attacks in a Camden social club to the police shooting the creature in Bristol, Pennsylvania. They even went as far as Delaware and Maryland, creating a snowball effect. The more people heard of the Jersey Devil, the more people reported seeing it. It almost created a mass panic to the point where schools and local businesses were closed, warning people to stay indoors where it was safe. Groups of hunters, vigilantes, and concerned individuals traveled to New Jersey in search of the creature. Wealthy collectors even offered rewards up to $10,000 for the creature's capture. Some didn't care if it was dead, wanting it for their own private collection, whereas others were willing to donate the creature to the Philadelphia Zoo. As you can imagine, with that amount of money being thrown around at that time, the hoaxes began, as people tried to make some quick cash in all the hysteria. All sorts of animals were handed in with the claim that they had found the creature. Someone even attached wings and claws to the corpse of a kangaroo in the hopes that those desperate enough would pay. After that week of madness, the Jersey Devil had cemented itself as an American urban legend. The number of reported sightings did eventually die down as people went about their lives as usual. Several explanations were offered as to what the Jersey Devil was and why it came to be. The simplest being that hundreds of years ago it was very common to misidentify animals, and what people may have seen may have just been a hill crane, though it is quite hard to match that description to the Jersey Devil. There's also the possibility that British settlers may have just created a boogeyman story, a form of entertainment, or even a way to keep their children safe. The Pine Barrens were a dangerous, harsh, and unwelcoming place to live. It was also rampant with bandits and highwaymen who would rob and kill those passing by. So making up a story about an evil creature to scare people away from the Pine Barrens seemed like a smart way to keep them safe. Although this plan doesn't really work when your story actually encourages more people to visit the area. Personally, I've always been a fan of folklore and legends that are unique to specific areas. There are so many universal ideas throughout folklore, it's always refreshing when you get something as weird as this story. Let me know what you think. I'm sure some of you watching this currently live in New Jersey. I'd love to hear if you have any stories growing up, or if you know someone who claims they have seen the Jersey Devil. As always, I've been your host, Mythology and Fiction Explained, reminding you to maybe stop at 12 children, because the 13th might just be the devil!
Well, you heard him. Stick with only 12 children. Anyway, so here's what you need to know about this. You heard rumors about the Jersey Devil. And I stabbed you in the heart. So yeah, personally, the Jersey Devil is nothing more than just an animal, in my mind. But it does not mean there are things that we should not worry about. So anyway, where Midoriya being the Jersey Devil, but this is when he wakes up during the aquatic time. When I mean aquatic, I mean at some reason and they found the Jersey Devil, but they didn't do anything because they were too scared. Many hunters actually tried to kill him, but failed. Horribly. And I'm talking about like very, very horribly, to the point where, yeah. they always end up pretty much either dead or wishing they were dead, because I'm gonna say that Midoriya didn't really take that many prisoners back in the day. So Midoriya would do the original thing and literally move. However, he moved at a very bad time because that's when people started doing the Purge. Yes, I am adding the Purge in this one a lot. One of you guys requested the Purge, what if, and I figured, fuck it, due to it being literally October, I figured, why the fuck not? But it's gonna be a little bit late on that one, so don't be bitchy. But anyway, this is when Midoriya literally went to the best of times and literally just sees people killing each other. So Midoriya in his mind is thinking free food. Because, well, let's be honest, when you're too hungry, you're not really patient enough to take your own damn food. So he watches and becomes a little interested at the place. It's mostly because he never gets to see people fight each other to the death, and he is quite curious on what the hell is going on. So curious to the point where he actually sees a child running away. But I'm not gonna say it's like any other child. I'm gonna say it's like a teenager. And this happened 3 or 4 years ago. Oh, no, I'm joking. It happened like recently. So this is when the guy comes up to the child, and let's say this child has red hair. And this is when immediately, as soon as the guy tries to kill him, this is when the guy has his head completely ripped off. This is when another guy looks at the corpse and is surprised to see it, because let's just say this is a world of humans and there's no quirks. This is when Midoriya got done. This is when Midoriya comes to the other guy and literally bites the guy's leg off. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that the Jersey Devil does look like a chimera, just without the 3 heads. And the tail is a fork, and the head does look like a horse, but the head's the fangs of a Smilodon. I actually remember the older versions of how they actually drew the creature. It had the front body of a lion, the head of a horse, but the fangs of a Smilodon. Well, actually, it's more ancient like that. It had the body of a Smilodon. It had the front bits of a Smilodon, the back body of, I kid you not, of a horse, and the head of a horse, but the fangs of a Smilodon, and did have a forked tail. How do I know this? Well, unfortunately, your God of Chaos was there when that creature was born, and I will say this, that creature is actually pretty friendly. How do I know this? Well, take a guess. I'm the God of Chaos. I'm old. And in case you're wondering how was it born, well, they got the German part right. Unfortunately, it was cursed for something it didn't do. Mostly the forbidden romance thing, so they cursed the child. What did I do to the people who cursed it? Well, I caused the Great Plague, of course. Their death was slow and brutal. I could not stop laughing, I'll admit. I even caused disease to their children. Oh, watching children suffer. It's my best bloody days. And who said who said this comedy is dead? Probably a lot, considering that I just literally confessed that I did horrible things back in the realms where technology was not a thing, which was actually pretty common. But if you guys are wondering, did I cause any of the witches burning? No, that was pure humans, and half of them were innocent people, actually. There was no witches back then, actually. As a matter of fact, people didn't know magic until now. I kid you not. No one knew magic until now. In case you're wondering, do you have proof? Well, think about it. I think one mythical creature that you would probably think is probably causing Russia to go to war. In case you're wondering, no, I didn't cause Russia to go to war. That's your problem, not mine. However, I am planning to probably let humanity go to World War III. I'll admit, that would be funny. You all can disagree, but I'll admit, watching humans die and children being burned alive just puts a smile on my face. I know, I am a kind person by watching children hang themselves. That was because their family kept abusing him. But no, not really. That's karma. Well, you'd be surprised how many children do that. Anyway, hey, back to the video. So pretty much Midoriya actually kills this person by brutally mauling him to death with his fangs. Because this one Midoriya looks up to see the kid, who is, well, understandably, if you were a child as well, pass out of pure fear because, well, the Jersey Devil was thought to be a myth. And as I said before, this is a realm where quirks are not even a thing. Heck, they don't even exist in this AU. I know that'd be more interesting if they did, but let's be honest, we don't want to make it too OP and too difficult for our friend, now would we? Besides, the Jersey fucking Devil can literally take a cannonball to the gut. That's not something you can easily walk off. So, after that, this is when Midoriya walks up to the guy, and the only thing you hear here is, who are you? Relax, mortal. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not hungry. Yet. But I will ask, what is going on here? Normally you humans will be focusing on the hunt every 13 years. Who are you? You truly do not remember. Your kind used to fear me back in the day. I am what you mortals call the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil? I thought you were a myth. Yeah, well, that people say that a lot. So, mortal, are you going to explain on what the hell's going on? It's the Purge. What's the Purge? Purge. You don't know? It's all over for the place. Literally, here's the... Literally, like, here's the announcement. Announcement. What's it? What an announcement. Here. This should probably help you. Okay.
To us?
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Huh. So that's what's going on. Yeah. Aren't you? Well, that depends. Do you want to be part of this massacre? I want it to end. I don't want to be hunted. Flashback of Midoriya, you're asking the same thing. You want it to be normal. Showing a little bit of pity to the guy, but not too much. May I ask your name? It's Kirishima. Kirishima, huh? Well, I am known as Izuku. Why don't you get on my back and I'll fly you to my cave? Are you sure? I don't want to be a bother. You're not going to be a bother of something you can't control. Anyway, as for you, I will see what I can do. Once Midoriya and them actually get to the location and look around, this is when Midoriya starts flying up. And this is when he just sees a couple of people, both trying to shoot at him, but Midoriya literally gets down there, sweeps so fast that he decapitated them all with his wings and claws. And kicks one guy in the head so badly that his neck literally twisted around and caused his spine to come out of the chest. This is when Midoriya goes closer to the guy and literally just start breaking bones around the guys and killing them on the spot. Other guys try to shoot him, but the bullets just bounce right off of him because of how durable his skin is. Mind you, I'm gonna say like he can take his wings up or down. So you're showing them up because the wings are so durable that, like I said, bullets won't pierce them. This is when Midoriya just swings his claws at the other one and slices the guy in half. Another one tries to stab Midoriya, and Midoriya just looks at the guy like, seriously? And just impales him with his forked tail. And just throws it to the other guy. This is when he jabs his horns into other guys. I'm gonna say it's like goat. I'm gonna say it's like horns that are going straight like those, I'm not gonna say ram horns, but more like bull horns. Besides, ram horns or goat horns. Actually, no, let's say goat horns. Yeah, goat horns. And they impale him. And this one he just yanks the corpse right off of the body. And this one many people try to flee, but Midoriya catches up to them faster than anything. And because, well, the Jersey Devil is actually faster than a eating fucking bullet. Hell. Oh, he's actually faster than Superman. I kid you not. I actually saw if he could run faster, and I was right. He outpaced my bullet. Clever kid. A pity that you humans killed him. Killed him out of pure fucking spite. Which is half the reason why I want to end humanity, because, well, you killed someone who could not control what they were, like a bunch of fucking morons. The creature wasn't even a carnivore, it was actually a vegetarian. Again, don't ask me why it was a vegetarian, it just chose to be one. Although how you humans kill your animals, it kind of sprung up on why. So yeah. Anyway, so when Midoriya got there, listen when Midoriya takes Kirishima into his cave. And this is when Kirishima says, "Wow, it's pretty. Thanks. It took me eons to actually find a perfect location for me to hide. Or at least hibernate. Any creatures we gotta worry about? Bah! Just your regular Wendigos, but that's it. Did they ever attack you? Fuck no, they know better. Last Wendigo who attacked me was their leader. And they suffered the dire consequences. So, yeah. Attacking me was the worst idea they could come up with. Trust me. They tried other ways, but all they did was just piss me off. And trust me, pissing someone off is the last thing you want to do, especially if that man is more or good than evil. So yeah, you'd be surprised. But in your other questions, what more do you wish to know? How long will I stay here? As long as you want, human. I'm not gonna force you out in the world like that. But I will require a cost. And that is, well, I need to eat. I'm not gonna cut you open, but do you know any farmsteads? My parents own a farm before they abandoned me. You can mostly take their cattle. They care about their farm more than their child, so I wouldn't really mind if you killed them. I'll keep that in mind. Right. So, how long does this purge lasts until 8, huh? Yeah, so that should fill you up. No offense if you... it's fine. I'll be right back. I am going to eat. Once I get out of there, this is when Midoriya gets back to the city. And this is when Midoriya sees other people trying to see Midoriya eating, and this is when an arrow tries to hit Midoriya, but it reflects and literally hits another guy who was attempting to snipe Midoriya, but the arrow ricocheted and hit the guy right in the head, causing the guy's death. He looks up, mouth drenched in blood, and just says, another fucking idiot, huh? And today's only started. Alrighty then. So, mortal, if you wish to throw, then let's throw down, I suppose, is what you humans would say. This is when the Purge says, "You're gonna be a nice fur coat." Ow! Where the fuck do you see? Oh, right. I keep forgetting. I do have fur. This one of the guy tries to swing a sledgehammer, but it, does the same thing as the knife. It breaks. He just gives the look like, really? And the guy impales him. This is when one of them tries a rocket launcher, but that doesn't work either. As a matter of fact, Midoriya catches the rocket launcher, leans it right back at the guys, and he shoots them. Unfortunately, it doesn't it causes a lot of damage. And he continues killing all of them brutally and, slowly. After that, Midoriya got done killing them. He decides to bring some corpses home. Once he gets there, he's Kirishima just making herself at home. Mostly bringing in stuff like hide, all that, which Midoriya catches wind of, which Midoriya looks at. Once he lands, this is when Midoriya says, interesting way of doing things. Huh? Oh, sorry. I rarely get chances to even have clothes, so it's understandable. Well, as you said, your family abandoned you. Is yours? No, my mother cared about me. I didn't become the Jersey Devil until they killed my mother. She didn't care what I looked like. She cared about me. My siblings, not as much. She never would abuse me, and she never would attack me. Ever. As a matter of fact, he would never place any harm on them. So, except when my brother tried to kill me, my mother didn't hesitate to slit his throat. Then there was only 12 children. Wow. So it's when the day that they took her, this is when I became the Jersey Devil. Yes. I will admit, I never thought New Jersey would be the place where they do such things. I'll be honest, neither did I. Anyway, doesn't matter now. This is when Midoriya and them get there. So once Midoriya actually gets to the guys, this is when Midoriya just sees the pelts and says, "What are you gonna make?" "I was just gonna make a blanket. You want one?" "I'm fine. I got extremely thick fur. My fur is more thicker than any dog that was meant for the winter." Ah, I see. Anyway, once Midoriya and them got this one, but Kirishima made the high blanket and started cuddling it up, using Midoriya as a pillow. Midoriya allows this. When the morning rises, this is when he looks out and eats his corpses. But this is when he realized that people are not giving up on the Purge. When Midoriya continues eating, this is when he sees a bullet nearly hitting Kirishima, but this is when... and he blocks it and just looks at them with primal rage. And gruntly just says, "Watch your aim." This is when people come out. And Midoriya just bares his fangs, and a lot of people are now afraid. This is when he immediately recognizes the 2 cent. "So you're Kirishima's parents, huh? What have you done to our daughter?" "Your daughter? Since when did you care about your daughter?" "You left her to die. During the Purge." "The Purge is still going on. It's the forever Purge. Like I will believe the parents over for her." He's about to whip him, but this is when Kirishima says, "Hold up. Speak, or I'll let him kill you." "Oh, I see. Gather information." "Daughter, I said speak." "I won't ask again." "And what is this about the forever Purge?" "America has fallen. Like, literally. There has been nothing but harm and chaos." They are literally just killing each other. The Purge is never gonna end. It's around the world now. Oh, and they're killing everyone they see. We need to get out of here. "Can I call you Izuku?" "Yes, you can call me Izuku. What do you wish to ask?" "Kill them." This one, Midoriya smiles and immediately lunges at them and eats their entrails and kills them instantly. And he kills Kirishima's mom, who I am gonna say was pregnant at the time, and Midoriya just ate the baby's corpse. And this one, Kirishima just goes back inside. And Midoriya literally just eats the rest. "I'm taking it again." "You knew they were gonna betray us, didn't you?" In the Purge, you can't trust anyone. But apparently you can trust a mythical creature that's supposed to be not real. Touche. Hey. Plus, I think you noticing the bullet nearly hitting you also called it. Yeah, it did. Why else would they try to make up such a lie? I can see why you went evil. I didn't really go evil. I just followed my survival's instinct. Still, if you could change the past and literally be human, would you risk it? I'll be honest with you, no. Oh, because that will never happen. There is no such thing as having a normal life. Especially if you're a monster like me. You're not a monster. You're just misunderstood. Kirishima gets to his face and wipes the blood off of her. And wipes the blood with a napkin. You got blood on your mouth. Thanks. It's okay. This is when Midoriya and them is to continue on. This is when Midoriya and them actually leave the premises for at least a good while. Because, well, they're dealing with something they don't understand. And so... this is when Midoriya gets closer and literally just looks at them. I mean, he looks at the people and just wondering in his head, how is this going to turn out? But he knows the answer to that as well, which says pretty badly, even for Midoriya. Anyway, this is when Midoriya continues on trucking. Okay, mostly doing the original shit. Killing people, eating them, whatnot. Once Midoriya gets done, it's been going on for a good 5 months of Purge, and bones upon bones have been calling up, and Midoriya has been stealing livestock for Kirishima to cook, and for her to also cook human flesh. Which is a first for her, because she never cooked human flesh, actually. But she doesn't eat it because, well, she's not a cannibal. Oh, and Midoriya respects her wishes. Mostly, the human flesh is for him. Yeah, you can't even blame him. So, Purge is still going on? It's been 5 months, yeah. Is there anything you actually miss about your home? I'll be honest, no. My friends bullied me. My parents neglected me. The only one that was nice to me was Mineta. Mineta? My childhood friend. He was killed during the first Purge. He was killed last year's Purge. I stopped caring about people after that. Until I met you. Oh, Midoriya slightly blushes, but he doesn't show it. Huh. I see. Besides, I was always into that type of thing. What do you mean? She completely blushes. Wait, you're into... Yes, I'm what people would call a furry. Ooh, ow, what's a furry? Oh boy. Hey, let me explain. A furry is someone who's into animals. Wow. Wait, you mean like... Okay, you're obviously getting the picture, but not in the right way. More like animal versions of furries, you know. Like... Eek, me? Well, a little bit, yeah. Kiddo, I am literally the size of a rhino. No. I've been through worse. You ever had a horse dick shoved up your ass by force? Ow. I'm definitely glad I killed your family then. Yeah. You actually had a horse? No, that was like... No, but I nearly had one until the owners... Until... Mineta showed up and stabbed the horse in the eye. Okay? That horse was in heat, so it just saved my life. Unfortunately for me, it was their best horse breeder, and they blamed me for being a girl. Humans. I mean, this one Midoriya is thinking... Human parents are the worst. I do not pity killing her family then. This is when immediately they hear something outside. This is when they hear, Midoriya, it's Oko! Why him? You know that guy? Stay indoors, I'll be back. This when Midoriya walks out. And sees someone he wishes he's never seen. What do you want, Katsuki? What happened to Kachan? Midoriya bares his fangs and shivers down to his spine. I'm just here to talk. Speak then, werewolf. Or your time will grow way shorter than it should. But other werewolves are about to get a little bit salty, even when Bakugo calls them off. There's been an increase of attacks here lately. Attacks that humans are starting to notice. How is that even my problem? They come here, they attack me, I kill them, I get food. I don't see what's your problem. It is a problem, Midoriya. If this keeps up, we'll have to relocate. How is this my problem? You're literally telling me good news. That's not easy considering that we have cubs on board. Again, you're not showing me the problem. You're just telling me good news. I keep forgetting you care little about yourself. Hell, you actually care little about others. What I'm trying to say here is, Midoriya, if this keeps on, we're all fucked. And it doesn't matter how strong you are, Midoriya, they can still kill you. They will have to die trying, because it will not be easy to kill something that predictable. You are something else, Izuku. And yet, you're still here. Ballsy. I'll be honest with you, I have no intention of staying. But unfortunately, I must ask you to at least do this one thing. And that is, this one Baku gets serious. Get rid of the girl. You have some balls, considering I would get rid of her. And my answer to that is no. So, this one Midoriya starts showing his bloodlust. Take your pack and leave before I change my mind about the treaty. This one other werewolves are starting to back up, and so does Bakugo. Fine. And this one all the werewolves leave. Who was that? Short-sighted people, mostly. Werewolves, as you could say. I thought werewolves... You know what, I shouldn't even be surprised. If you exist, the werewolves exist. There are some things that don't exist. Like? Why, for starters, some of the things that people make up. Like what? The Baba Yaga, she's actually a myth. Really? What was she then? Truthfully, the Baba Yaga was actually just one misunderstood woman. All she was just a chef, that's it. She made excellent soup, though. Let me guess, human flesh? Actually, no, chicken noodle soup. Huh. I'm surprised that none of the... You think the werewolves will attempt to try anything? Not without engulfing my wrath. They harm you, I harm them 10 times worse. The flashback of Midoriya seeing his friend getting hurt. When the old Alpha came back, he comes back to pretty much Katsuki losing his arm, Misaki being mauled to death, and infant cubs being torn to shreds. By others. I told you what would happen if you attacked people who were under my protection. And yet, you have the gall to attack them. This one the werewolf says, I'll show you! Ooh, gall! This one the werewolf alpha tries to attack Midoriya, but Midoriya just grabs him by the throat and literally just starts suffocating him. This is when Midoriya just shows the head to all the other members, along with the infant puppies, and he puts heads on spikes. If I see these removed, the rest of your clan will fall. All are now in horror and in fear. Here. And this one Midoriya walks off, with Katsuki, he horrified about Midoriya. Flashback ends, and we get to Bakugo. Alpha, I know, but what can we do? The old Alpha suffered the consequences. Tell everyone to pack up. We're moving. Not many you know the Alpha Council will not agree to this. The Alpha Council was not there during the massacre, so I could give two rats' ass about them. Very well, sir. What they don't know is that the Pack Alpha was listening. This one, two of them agrees that they should attack Midoriya, but the other three disagree. Hey, because they know the massacre, because some of them was there. And they do not blame Katsuki's concern of the pack. Once we get to Midoriya, who's now just eating the corpses of people that Kirishima cooked, this is when Kirishima makes some clothes. Hey, what do you think of my clothes? Huh? Midoriya blush it, and literally just looks at Kirishima, and she's wearing something that a Tarzan would wear. Where's your, thingy? My what? Oh, my bra? Never liked wearing it. Truly. Wait, Midoriya trying his best not to look down. What? Like what you're looking? My mother taught me manners, but may I ask, and this one Midoriya says, holy crap, you're buff. Well, I have been hunting animals, mostly bears. You've been hunting bears? Why didn't you tell me? Well, number one, I have hunted bears, and I mostly just stick to the tree lines. Nice. And plus, I stab it with a spear. I don't literally charge in like a maniac. Oh. Still, you could have told me. I could have helped you with the hunt. Yeah, but you had your own reasons, and I needed to eat. Besides, I didn't want to worry you. Telling me that you are hunting down a giant animal is kind of worrisome as well. So next time, please just tell me. Okay. Hey, but promise me you'll try to spare the animal when I'm trying to kill it. How about I just decapitate its head and call it a day? That'll work. Anyway, this one Midoriya immediately hears a dunk, which immediately hits him in the head. Ow! What the? This one Midoriya looks back and realizes he got hit by a rock. Mind you, it was like right in the back of his head, which was hard enough that he felt it. Ow! What the hell? Wait, I thought he didn't get hurt that easily. This one they realized they had like a humongous rock thrown at him. Oh, that's my cousin. I don't. Yeah, but that's between. That doesn't mean some of my parts are vulnerable, and one of them is the back of my head. He looks back to see a couple of werewolves. Ugh, not this shit again. And this one he sees two clan members. Isn't the clan of the Great Claw and the clan of the Titanborn clan. We're here to kill you, Izuku. And that lady would make an excellent mate. Back off, you freak. I like females with... And before the werewolf can even finish that sentence, Midoriya slashes his stomach open and bit off his commander. They're ripping the head off and showing feral rage around the werewolves. The werewolves are either running away or immediately trying to fight back or run away. Hey, but Midoriya always catches up to him and rips him to shred. And this is when they ripped each other apart. And this is when Midoriya literally... They just ripped apart the thing. This is when Midoriya got done on killing the rest of the werewolf clans. And this is when he sees, don't move! One more alpha kill and I'll kill this woman! Ugh. This one Midoriya is literally holding like a... This one Midoriya is about to charge in. But this one he realized that Kirishima's holding a knife. I swear, I'll gut her! This one Kirishima stabs her in the throat. Stabs him in the eye. No, you won't. And this one... And also she bites his hand. Ah! And this one Midoriya pounces in and literally rips the guy to shreds. Its arms and pieces falling apart. This is when Midoriya got done, and this is when he sees Katsuki and his clan. And just not giving a look of unsurprised. The other three clan members are not surprised either, but they know not to mess with Midoriya's fury. Midoriya looks back at them in primal rage, but they know they have to leave now. The truce is now broken. So they leave. Midoriya thinks in his head, smart puppies. This one, immediately Kirishima went all waifu mode and started worrying and looking around to see if Midoriya was hurt. Which Midoriya says, as Kirishima, I'm fine. It'll take a lot more than that to hurt me. Fuck. Damn gnat in my eyes. Anyway. Wait. This is when Midoriya literally strikes at the potential of a warrior. Here. But this is when Midoriya just looks at them, and this is when you only hear is the calm breeze of them. But this one, Kirishima just gets to him closer, and they both lock each other in the eyes, and that's when they both start kissing each other. And it gets a little bit heated. I'm not talking about like argument. I'm talking about like heated. About to the point where they're starting to have a little bit of something called the double tap rump. And Kirishima is enjoying it. Okay? And this is when, after 5 hours, this is when Kirishima is pretty much now just tired. Midoriya, who's wrapped his wings around them, literally just sits there and strokes them. 5 months has passed. 2 years has passed, and this is when we get to Kirishima with a kid. Let's say it's 2 little Jersey Devil Juniors. And this one, immediately Kirishima says, "Be back before dinner, you two." Yes, Mom. Who would have? I wonder what your parents will react to you marrying a woman, or marrying me. They'd probably be more curious on how the hell your hair is red. It's actually hair dye. I just haven't been washing it in a while. That's hair dye? I always thought it was something else. Yeah, it's hair dye. It's nothing too big. Really? I always thought it was something else. I learned something new about my wife. This is when immediately they hear, "Hey, Dad! And Mom! Jacob did his first kill!" Really? And this is when you see a dead bunny. Not bad, son. Don't you growl at me. You want this cook or not? Honey, you know Jersey Devils are stubborn as stone. This one, Kirishima shows her intimidation, and Jacob lets go. Good son. That's when Midoriya's thinking, now I remember why I don't piss off my wife. Sheesh. How long has it been since the Purge? About 9 years now. Oh. I'd probably be old. To think I am literally 22. Ooh, wait a minute. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Never mind, 24 years old. Oh. Well, I nearly said 22. I'd be like, wait a minute, how old was Kirishima? Well, I actually have to recount that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you. I am too. Although I think our siblings are going to enjoy another child. What? Ow, another one? Don't tell me we're going to end up with 13 kids. Oh, by gods, no. Oh, that does mean I'm going to have to make some condoms then. Ow, what the hell is a condom? You'll see. In the future. What should we name the new kid then? If it's a boy, Coda, but a girl, Eri. Didn't we already have a son named Coda? Oh, right, I keep forgetting. It must be that mother instincts. But I got a feeling it's going to be a girl for some reason. I hope so. Oh, let's hope it has your mother. Let's hope the girl has your instincts. Someone has to make sure your sibling. Someone has to make sure that the two stay out of trouble. That is true. Oh, Dad, my. Again? How did you get your horn stuck on your wing? And that's it. That's been the one shot of What If Deku Was the Jersey Devil? Purge AU. Who like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This has been Dunkle Dylan here, God of Chaos, and I will see you all in the next video.